Hello again, it's Storytime with Gigi. There are two very special children that call me Nona, and their names are Yuna and Alex. And they are very special to me, and this story is for them. They call me Nona. You could too, but they do for sure. You can call me Gigi. So the story I'm picking today, which I will show you in just 1 second, is a replacement for a story I was hoping to read to you, but Gigi can't find the book. I think that Aunt Rebecca might have the book with her, or Nona gave it to Yuna and Alex already and forgot about it. And that story is called I'd Choose You. So maybe one day I'll find it. It's not in my house. But maybe one day I can read it to all of you. And for now, the story that I picked is called The Kissing Hand. And it's written by Audrey Penn. That's a very special name too. Keep listening and watching and I'll tell you why. So Audrey Penn, who is the author of this book, and I'll show you. The Kissing Hand, and it says her name right there. Remember, Gigi's just getting used to all of this recording things. She wrote this book to Stephanie, Rebecca Corin, and children everywhere who loved to be loved, and I bet that's you. This is a pretty picture. Butterflies. And there's a raccoon looking up at the bird, and I have a butterfly shirt on for my favorite friend who loves butterflies. You know who you are if you're watching. So this story is about Chester Raccoon. Chester Raccoon stood at the edge of the forest and cried. "I don't want to go to school," he told his mother. "I want to stay home with you. And I want to play with my friends and play with my toys and read my books and swing on my swing. Please, may I stay home with you?" I bet there's a lot of children staying home right now that might want to go to school. But at this point in Chester's life, he really wanted to stay home with his mom. And this is... Poor Chester. I wonder why he's sad. Why does he want to stay home with his mom? Mrs. Raccoon took Chester by the hand and nuzzled him in the ear. She gave him a hug. "Sometimes we all have to do things we don't want to do," she told him gently, "even if they seem strange and scary at first." Maybe you're in a scary, strange place right now, having to stay home all the time and not be able to go to school like you used to. And maybe mom and dad, or whoever you're with, there's a little bit scared too. It's okay to talk about that. But Mrs. Raccoon said, "Even if they seem strange and scary at first, but you will love school once you start." And we'll see who else is in the raccoon forest. There's a squirrel on a tree. Mrs. Raccoon gave Chester a hug. You like getting hugs from your mom or your dad? I do. I can't. But I can give hugs to lots of people. She said, "You'll make new friends and play with new toys, read new books, and swing on new swings. Besides," she added, "I know a wonderful secret that will make your nights at school seem warm and cozy as your days at home." Wait a minute. Why would Chester go to school at night? He's a raccoon, so he stays up all night and goes to sleep during the day. We don't have school like that here in the United States. Maybe some places they do, but for raccoons for sure. So, are you ready to find out the secret? Let's hang on to that thought, because let's see the pictures. This one says you'll make new friends, and you'll play with new toys, and you'll read new books. And she told him a secret. Chester wiped away his tears and looked interested. A secret? What kind of secret? A very old secret, said Mrs. Raccoon. I learned it from my mother, and she learned it from hers. It's called the kissing hand. The kissing hand? Asked Chester. What's that? Gigi loves this page because it has dragonflies on it. I love dragonflies. One day I'll share with you some dragonflies that I have. Not real ones. I used to have a real one. Anyway, I'll show you. Mrs. Raccoon took Chester's left hand, spread open his tiny fingers into a fan. Leaning forward, she kissed Chester right in the middle of his palm. Chester felt his mother's kiss rush from his hand, up his arm, into his heart. Even his silky black mask tingled with special warmth. Did you ever get a kiss like that? Sorry, it starts there. I like this story. I'm glad I still have it. Mrs. Raccoon smiled. Now, she told Chester, whenever you feel lonely and need a little loving from home, just press your hand to your cheek and think, Mommy loves you. Mommy loves you. And that very kiss will jump to your face and fill you with toasty thoughts. Aw, Chester has a very sweet mama. I bet you do too. And a really nice papa too. Or daddy, or dad, or whatever you call him. And if you don't, I know a very special father for you. She took Chester's hand and carefully wrapped his fingers around the kiss. Now, do be careful not to lose it, she teased him. But don't worry. When you open your hand and wash your food, I think as a raccoon, he licked it clean. Mrs. Raccoon said, I promise the kiss will stick, which means you can't wash it off. This is a really pretty picture of the tree. And it looks like the animals are playing hide and seek maybe. I never saw that before. Can you see the deer behind the tree? And there's a rabbit and a turtle and I think that's supposed to be a mouse. I think it's a mouse. Maybe they're playing follow the leader. I don't know. They're playing something. Maybe they're going to school. Chester loved his kissing hand. Now he knew his mother's love would go with him wherever he went, even to school. And one day you'll go back to school and your mother's love and your father's love and your grandpa and your grandma and your aunts and your uncles and your cousins and your friends and everybody that you love, their love can be with you. Let's see. This is Chester thinking about what it would look like. And the places he could go and still take his mom's kiss with him. Where can you go and take your mom's kiss with you? Anywhere. That night, Chester stood in front of his school and looked thoughtful. It's a big tree. Suddenly, he turned to his mother and grinned. Give me your hand, he told her. I don't know if you like spiders, but there's a spider. I don't like spiders. But here's the glow of the moon, and it's at night, and Chester's getting ready to go to school in the big tree. What do you think he's going to do? Me too. Chester took his mother's hand in his own and unfolded her large hand, familiar fingers into a fan. Don't his fingers look a little dark? Next, he leaned forward and kiss the center of it. That was for Nona. That was from Nona to Una and Alex. Let's see. Let's do this one first. Okay. Hey, practice does not make perfect. Practice makes progression. And Nona's learning to use this. You can always pause it if I go too fast on the pictures. Chester told his mom, "Now you have a kissing hand too," and with a gentle goodbye and "I love you," Chester turned and danced away. And all the other animals are going to school too. It's dark out, but they're going to school. There's a fox and a deer, and I think it's a skunk. And I think there's some bunny talking. And there's Chester waving, and his mom's waving goodbye. Do you see his special hand right here? Something special is going to happen with that too. Just wait. Mrs. Raccoon watched Chester scamper across a tree limb and enter school. And as the hoot owl, do you have a hoot owl ring in the school? No, we have a bell at school, right? That rings, that lets the children know it's time to go or come in, and both. Mrs. Raccoon watched Chester scamper across a tree limb and enter school. And as the hoot owl rang in the new school year, she pressed her left hand to her cheek and smiled. This is my right hand. That's okay. The warmth of Chester's kiss filled her heart with special words. Chester loves you. It sang, Chester loves you. Nona loves you now, Alex. Oh, I almost forgot to show you pictures. I'm sorry. I got excited. There's the hoot owl. I always have to peek because I don't know what's going on out there. Oh, the hoot owl must also be the teacher. You know, owls are supposed to be very wise. That's really cool. Lots to look at in that picture, huh? You might want to pause it and go back. And what did that say? Let's see. The very last page of the book shows the I love you hand. Just like that. My thumbs are touching. This means I love you in sign language. So Gigi's going to read the story in sign language as well. I don't know when, but I will. And this means I love you. And I love you. So look forward to seeing you again next time. I hope you enjoyed the story. Bye.